Caitlin Clark's new Kobe PE shoe sold out in less than a minute. And I saw so many tweets about this, so many people who were so sad that they missed out on this shoe. I saw that there was this one Dick's store and people were lined up around the corner, like camping out, trying to get the shoe.
Nike just pulled off the biggest corporate facepalm of the decade, and A'ja Wilson is absolutely fuming after dumping mountains of cash into hyping up Wilson's brand. While meanwhile, Caitlin Clark was out here setting social media ablaze every time she so much as ties her sneakers. Nike finally snapped out of it.
Nike finally delivers Caitlin Clark PE. Is this the first Caitlin Clark exclusive Nike commercial since she's entered the WNBA? I know she's made a cameo here, she's made a cameo there, she was featured as part of this rollout here, featured as part of this rollout there, but is this our first official Caitlin Clark solo commercial?
They've spent years betting the farm on the wrong superstar. Now reality has smacked them upside the head. And as they pivot toward the woman who actually makes cash registers sing, Wilson's throwing a meltdown that's downright theatrical. Because let's be honest, this drama isn't just about fancy sneakers. It's Nike basically admitting they wasted years pushing the wrong face, while Clark's presence alone makes their website crash harder than your grandma's Facebook feed. If you support Caitlin, then comment baby go down below. Let's go.
Caitlin, and was thought to be a colorway made just for her up until just a couple days ago, where Nike's official images of the shoes got leaked and the announcement was made saying that everyone will now have a chance to wear.
All right, let's break out the receipts because numbers never sugarcoat. A'ja Wilson's kicks, sure, they launched with a lot of hype, but reports are saying there's still pretty much plenty of stock that it's soon bound for the clearance rack. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark waltzes in, launches a Kobe collaboration before she even has her own signature line, and 13,000 pairs vanish in roughly a minute. Not 5, not 10, literally 60 seconds. It wasn't a product drop. It was a feeding frenzy.
Well, I don't think I'd be in the wrong to say Caitlin Clark's Kobe is the sneaker of the week, and everyone's focus is mostly on this one. If you really wanted that shoe, I hope you put your footwork in, because there's supposedly only 13,000 pairs of sneakers out tomorrow. Combine that with a really high resale value, I expect this shoe to be a relatively difficult cop. But my hope seriously is that with Caitlin Clark's sneaker coming out, that this sets a precedent and we might see other exclusive player edition Kobe's drop for the public.
The Nike site didn't just lag. It practically threw up a white flag. Secondary markets immediately lit up with resale prices soaring from $350 all the way to $600. When Caitlin Clark gear hits the shelves, it's like Black Friday on steroids. Meanwhile, Wilson's line gathering dust and getting quietly shuffled to the clearance rack.
These things is some fire. I'm telling you, where there's smoke, there is fire, and these things is hitting so hard. And who got a bot? Who a shoe plug? Because I need 2 pairs. I need one for the sneaker wall, and I need one for my feet, because these things is hidden right here, and no, I don't want to pay $600 on GOAT.
Now, here's the real juicy part. Nike spent 2 entire years pampering A'ja Wilson's sneaker line. They showered her with the royal treatment. Custom logos, her pick of designs, personal touches all over the place. Celtic symbol to honor her parents, grandma's favorite sayings on the sole, you name it. It was less a basketball shoe and more a family scrapbook you could lace up.
I lost all respect for A'ja Wilson. I don't want to hear her opinions. I don't care what she has to say from this point on. When you keep a Nike deal 2 years in secret while you're spewing all that crazy stuff about Caitlin Clark in the Time magazine, read it. Read what she said in the Time magazine. Yet you had a Nike deal the whole entire time.
Meanwhile, Caitlin's still rocking repurposed Cobes. No personal logo, no signature line yet. And somehow they outsell Wilson's handcrafted masterpieces by laughable margins. Nike gave Wilson every toy in the chest. Yet Clark's hand-me-downs break the internet without even trying. It's almost tragic. Almost.
So it's finally here. Caitlin Clark sneakers from Nike is finally dropping. She was signed to them last year, and the sneakers is a year late in my opinion, but nonetheless I'm excited because these sneakers is finally coming out. But what does annoy me a little bit is that this is a collaboration with Kobe. Now, Kobe, respect to Kobe, legend, rest in peace, great basketball player. But in my opinion, Caitlin Clark is a big enough star and she's creating her own legacy. So I feel like, at least for her first sneaker, it shouldn't be a collaboration with any other player, dead or alive, in my opinion. I feel like Caitlin should have, for her first shoe, had her own original design just for her.
And we got to talk about the giant pink elephant in the room. A'ja Wilson's Me First Energy. This is a woman who's been hustling harder for her personal accolades than most politicians during election season. She finally got her custom kicks, her mysterious logo that nobody understands, her fancy Nike commercials even directed by Malia Obama. And she still acts like the universe owes her more applause. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark just steps onto court, drops a casual 30-footer, and oops, she's Nike's biggest female cash cow since MJ. Wilson's out here loudly demanding her flowers, while Clark quietly builds her empire just by existing and being awesome at basketball. And all this was done while the shoe's being developed, while the shoes collection's being done to demonize Caitlin Clark and try to label her as a privileged white girl that's getting all the privileges, even though she earned everything she got. This ain't about color. This is about good and bad. And I find this little evil. I find this evil. This is beyond bad because you had the ability to speak up and say, hey, everybody relax. Relax. Don't get on Caitlin Clark. She got a shoe deal. That's cool. I got one, two. Mine's taking a little bit. But it's going to come out. Just be patient. She could have came out and said that. But she didn't. The best part, Nike tried so hard to make A'ja happen. They cut her a $20+ million extension, built entire ad campaigns around her supposed diamond in the rough persona, and hyped up her story like a telemarketer on a caffeine binge. But guess what? You can't fake what Caitlin naturally has. Clark inked her own 8-year, $28 million deal and instantly became Nike's most powerful female brand without them lifting a single extra marketing finger. Every time she hits the hardwood in Nike gear, it's like a multi-million-dollar commercial. They didn't even have to storyboard. Wilson needs stylists, scriptwriters, and choreographed promos. Clark just needs a ball and a hoop, and she's printing money. Nike just released a brand new commercial featuring Caitlin Clark in her new Kobe shoe that she released today. And I saw this commercial yesterday on social media. I thought it was so cool. There's a shot when she's in the locker room and she opens her eye and it like turns into what looks like a snake eye. But when you zoom in, it's actually the Kobe logo. Now, let's dive into the cold business reality because this is where A'ja Wilson's entire fantasy crumbles. Caitlin Clark personally generated an estimated $82 million in economic impact for the state of Iowa alone. That's right, $82 million. All thanks to one 23-year-old kid from West Des Moines who decided to torch the NCAA record books. Her influence is so massive, it's practically a cultural meteor strike. Meanwhile, Nike's execs must be kicking themselves for ignoring the female version of Michael Jordan sitting right in front of them while they try to sell us a different story with Wilson. The writing was neon bright from day one, but Nike was too busy checking boxes on their social justice spreadsheet to see it. All eyes be tonight's magic. We are in for show. Bouncing on it. Lays it in on a delectable dime for Qua. Music. Former Nike basketball marketing head Jordan Rogers even went public to drag his old employer, basically telling them, "Congrats, you clowns. Just let your golden goose nearly slip away." Their stock tanked to a 5-year low while they were out here trying to force-feed fans a brand story that nobody was buying. Instead of riding the actual tidal wave that is Caitlin Clark, they were fumbling around trying to manufacture buzz around Wilson, like she was Gretchen Wiener's trying to make fetch happen. Spoiler alert, it never did. Your stock price since 2021, it is down nearly 60%. Your executives and the people who are making these decisions, their stock options are worthless. Meanwhile, you have the single biggest needle mover in all of American sports since Michael Jordan. And you have somehow convinced yourself that you need to slow play this. Let me show you Google Trends search traffic for 4 female basketball players. There's one who only rivals Caitlin Clark, and that is Angel Reese, and you do not have her. She is over at Reebok. I am so confused as to how you would be so invested in the WNBA for several years, and you have been doing great work to try to elevate and uplift that league and many of the athletes there. But this seems like you have convinced yourself that this needs to be an either-or conversation. And we never have an either-or conversation in the men's sports. You have like 10 signature athletes. Half of them don't deserve a signature shoe. Now, all of a sudden, Nike is finally rubbing the sleep out of their eyes. Caitlin Clark's Kobe drop hits, and the internet doesn't just slow down. It actually implodes like full meltdown mode. Meanwhile, A'ja Wilson's off in the corner watching her meticulously plotted, months-long rollout get completely eclipsed by Clark's casual Tuesday sneaker release that she barely even promoted. The difference is so glaring it's almost comical. Wilson needs teaser campaigns, photos, influencer seating, PR tours, and even then struggles to move her shoes. Clark just posts a photo, and next thing you know, people are lining up around the block like they're trying to snag the last PS5 on Earth. And you know what's really eating A'ja alive? It's that Nike is finally admitting what every sane person has seen for years. Clark doesn't just sell sneakers. She sells hope, hype, and the dream that you too could launch threes from the logo. The public spoke loud and clear with their wallets. Caitlin is tomorrow, and Wilson's over here desperately clinging to yesterdays, but is trying to stay in the frame. You finally put her in a Super Bowl campaign with 9 other women, and all respect to them, but none of them are moving the needle quite like she is. Your tagline, and that was "you can't win." So win. One of the best explanations I can come up with is that you are wringing your hands and afraid to enter into this politically divisive conversation that has been co-opted by the media and pundits who are race baiting and doing all kinds of ridiculous things around women's basketball. You can't win. So win. You have the unicorn, the chosen one, the one who everyone wants to hear from. And you were just sitting around. Gatorade, State Farm.